Meghan is livid. Harry has met someone who is his age, with whom he is in love, and who is in love with him.
Something is exploding behind the carefully polished Sussex image, because what began as explosive allegations involving Prince Harry has suddenly turned into an extraordinary confrontation in which the attempt to push back may have exposed something even more damaging: disagreement inside the marriage itself. For months, Meghan Markle has reportedly appeared without the engagement ring that once represented one of the most romantic chapters of the Sussex story, and suddenly that missing piece of jewelry is colliding with allegations from Lady Colin Campbell involving Prince Harry, a mystery female companion in Montecito, and alleged text messages. None of those allegations have been independently verified, and that matters enormously, but the reaction is where this story becomes almost impossible to ignore. The Sussex camp reportedly responded through New Idea, insisting that the couple remained a united front, yet buried inside that very defense was the revelation that Harry and Meghan allegedly disagreed over how aggressively they should respond. Think about that contradiction. A statement intended to demonstrate unity somehow ended up exposing disagreement. And suddenly the story was no longer simply about what had allegedly happened. It became about how desperately everyone appeared to be trying to control what happened next. Lady Colin Campbell said information had been brought to her by people she described as reputable members of the Democratic Party in the United States, with the claim centering on Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, allegedly being seen with a mystery woman in Montecito. There were also claims involving text messages Meghan had supposedly discovered on Harry's phone. Again, these remain allegations rather than established facts, and there has been no publicly presented photographic evidence proving the mystery companion story. But Lady Colin Campbell is hardly an unknown account appearing overnight on social media. She has spent decades writing about the British monarchy and published books about the British royal family, including a biography of Princess Diana. That history does not automatically prove a new allegation, but it explains why the claims immediately generated attention. Lady Colin Campbell was attaching a long-established public reputation to information she said came from identifiable and reliable sources. Still, reputation is not evidence. Without photographs, documents, authenticated messages, or independent verification, allegations remain allegations, no matter how dramatically they arrive. Then came the response, and this is where the attempted counterattack appeared to create an entirely new controversy. New Idea reported that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were upset about what it characterized as unfounded affair claims, quoting an unnamed insider who insisted there was no truth to the rumors and described the couple as a united front. That should have closed the door. Instead, another sentence seemed to throw it wide open. According to the same account, the couple differed over how the situation should be handled. Meghan allegedly wanted to fight back, while Harry supposedly urged restraint and argued that taking legal action was not usually the royal way. Wait, Harry? The same Harry associated with headline-making legal battles involving the Mirror, the Sun, the publisher of the Daily Mail, and the Home Office? Suddenly, Harry was reportedly the person urging caution while his wife wanted confrontation. The irony was impossible to miss, but the deeper issue was even more fascinating. An insider apparently trying to defend the marriage had simultaneously described a strategic disagreement inside it. And that is precisely where the words united front begin sounding less reassuring than intended. If two people are completely aligned, why reveal that they are divided over the central question of how to respond? Why give the controversy more oxygen? Why disclose emotional reactions and internal differences while attempting to make the entire story disappear? Compare that strategy with Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, who frequently allow hostile headlines to pass without publicly dissecting every allegation. Silence can starve gossip. Constant reaction can feed it. Every denial creates another headline, every insider quotation creates another discussion, and every attempt to seize control of the narrative can accidentally extend the narrative another 24 hours. The Sussex response, therefore, became almost as interesting as the allegations it was supposed to extinguish. And then there is the engagement ring. For months, Meghan Markle has reportedly appeared without the ring Prince Harry gave her, although reports differ over exactly how long its absence went widely unnoticed. artist. This is no ordinary accessory. Prince Harry designed it around a 3-carat cushion-cut diamond from Botswana, surrounded by 2 smaller diamonds from Princess Diana's personal collection. Botswana had already become woven into the couple's romantic mythology after Harry took Meghan camping there early in their relationship. The ring, therefore, carried multiple layers of symbolism: romance, Diana, Harry, and the carefully constructed story of how the Sussex relationship began. Yet at premieres and public appearances where jewelry and clothing choices inevitably attract attention, it was apparently missing. That alone proves nothing about a marriage. Rings can disappear for completely ordinary reasons, but when rumors, denials, internal disagreements, and visual symbolism arrive at almost the same moment, gossip culture does what gossip culture always does: it starts connecting dots. And the most provocative comparison was waiting in history. Meghan Markle has repeatedly been compared with Princess Diana in visual presentation and public imagery, while Diana famously demonstrated just how powerful an image could become without a single spoken accusation. In 1992, Princess Diana sat alone before the Taj Mahal while Prince Charles was elsewhere, creating an image that became permanently associated with the breakdown of their marriage. Diana did not need a dramatic statement. The photograph itself became the statement. Nobody can responsibly claim that a missing engagement ring proves the same thing, but the symbolism is exactly why this detail has become so combustible. When an enormously recognizable ring containing Diana's diamonds disappears during a period already surrounded by speculation, people notice eventually. And once they notice, the questions become very difficult to put back inside the box. Meanwhile, Lady Colin Campbell was not retreating. Lady Colin Campbell publicly insisted that she was not afraid of Meghan Markle, presenting herself as someone accustomed to serious adversaries and making it unmistakably clear that Meghan did not frighten her. She stressed her decades of royal commentary and maintained that her information had come from people she considered reputable and reliable, individuals she described as connected to the Democratic Party in the United States. Then came the challenge that transformed an already explosive dispute into something even more confrontational. Lady Colin Campbell rejected suggestions that she had been deliberately fed false information as some elaborate trap, maintained that she had independently verified what she had been told, and effectively invited the Sussexes to pursue legal action if they believed they had grounds. Bring it on. Those words mattered because the underlying allegations remained unverified, yet Lady Colin Campbell was publicly attaching her reputation to them rather than quietly backing away. But this confrontation becomes even more complicated when money enters the picture. Prince Harry recently lost his privacy case against the publishers of the Daily Mail, and the source script describes staggering potential legal costs connected with that defeat, placing Harry's share within a reported $34 million bill. At the same time, the broader commercial picture described in the original account appears increasingly pressured. The Netflix arrangement reportedly reduced in scope, the cooking show canceled after 2 seasons, the Sussex lifestyle brand facing mixed reception, and the Invictus Games confronting questions over sponsor retention. Then comes another legal headache involving Symbolism, the charity co-founded in Princess Diana's name, with litigation described as heading toward a future trial. Suddenly, the reported disagreement between husband and wife over whether another legal fight should begin takes on a completely different meaning. According to the New Idea Insider, Harry may simply lack the resources for another expensive courtroom battle. That possibility could explain why restraint has suddenly become so attractive. For years, Harry and Meghan repeatedly turned toward litigation when confronting newspapers, government decisions, and hostile coverage. The Mirror Group, the publisher of The Sunday, the publisher of the Daily Mail, and the Home Office all became part of that aggressive legal era. But litigation only remains intimidating, while opponents believe the threat can actually be carried through. Once legal defeats become enormously expensive, the dynamic can change almost overnight. Critics become louder. Former allies become less cautious. People who once feared becoming defendants may suddenly believe the balance of power has shifted. Lady Colin Campbell inviting legal action publicly therefore lands differently against that backdrop, especially while the Sussex response itself reportedly exposes disagreements about whether another battle should even begin. And beyond the lawsuit sits Montecito, the wealthy Southern California enclave that became the physical symbol of the Sussex escape from royal life. The enormous property, privacy, ocean views, and security created distance from the institution Harry once described as trapping his relatives, including King Charles and Prince William. Yet the source's central irony is brutal. The man who believed he escaped one restrictive world may now be surrounded by completely different walls. Legal pressure, commercial uncertainty, hostile headlines, an absent engagement ring, and disagreement over crisis strategy all collide while attempts at reconciliation with King Charles reportedly continue. Prince William, meanwhile, becomes the contrast in this narrative. Fewer public responses, fewer explanations, and silence in the face of endless speculation. And this is where the entire controversy circles back to the ring. The claims involving Prince Harry remain unverified. The mysterious woman remains an allegation. Yet the public response, the reported strategic disagreement, and the missing symbol of the marriage are visible pieces people can scrutinize. The Sussexes say unity while their own reported insider describes disagreement. They project resilience while increasingly complicated legal and commercial battles surround them. Meghan reportedly wants confrontation while Harry reportedly wants restraint. And Meghan Markle's engagement ring, carrying stones linked directly to Princess Diana, remains the detail everyone keeps returning to because symbols become especially powerful when explanations disappear. Perhaps the ring is being cleaned. Perhaps it was resized. Perhaps its absence means absolutely nothing. But within the dramatic pattern described by the original account, every silence becomes suspicious because every public choice attracts interpretation. The ring is absent, legal pressure is mounting, reconciliation with King Charles reportedly remains difficult. And Lady Colin Campbell has publicly refused to retreat. Harry once described his royal relatives as trapped, yet the question now hanging over this entire spectacle is whether the walls surrounding his new life are beginning to feel just as restrictive. The allegations still require proof, but the confrontation has already created consequences of its own because the attempted pushback did not silence the questions. It amplified them. And until somebody produces convincing evidence, a decisive denial, or an explanation strong enough to end the speculation, the most explosive part of this story may not be what has already been said. It may be what happens next.